Hey everybody, Krystal Gamer here with a new speed build video. Now this is, or was, supposed to be a 3-hour challenge. I started this with that in mind. My friend Lyrene35 and Dreamer Nova put out a 3-hour build challenge on Twitter. And so it's for slow builders, quote unquote, slow builders. And now how do you know if you're a slow builder or not? I don't really know how exactly you know if you're a slow builder, but because you don't know, I mean, unless you can build next to other people and you see how fast they go and all of that, you have no idea, like comparatively speaking, I don't know. But I do know that I feel like an exceptionally slow builder. Like I feel like it takes me forever to do anything. So I thought, I would try this 3-hour build challenge. Now, I made several mistakes here, really, if I think about it. So number one, I'm overly ambitious in the design that I tried to do in 3 hours. But there's a reason for this kind of, right? Because one of my recent speed build videos was my channelversary video. I had my 1-year anniversary of my channel, and so I did something that I hadn't done in a year, which was a 10-minute build challenge. Some of you may have seen it. And so I did this 10-minute build challenge very recently, and I didn't do too badly. Like, I mean, I got the bulk of the house in, I got the roof on, I got the main items, living, dining, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen. I got the main things in. The only elements that I missed that are like out of the bare necessities were the doors into the bedroom and bathroom, and I think some of the paint. So in my head, when I started this, I had 3 hours. And if I could do that in 10 minutes, my thought on starting this was, oh, I've got plenty of time. Like, no problem. I can take on this big thing and do this whole thing. I've got a 4-story house here. Like, this was insanity. The fact that I was even thinking that this was possible for me to do in 3 hours was just absolute nuts. Like, I don't know where this is just, I know it came from doing the 10-minute build challenge, but it's still, to say this was overly ambitious to do in 3 hours would be an understatement. And I didn't even do a ton of detailing inside, and I still didn't come anywhere close. And when I say nowhere close, I mean, I gave up on the fact that it wasn't going to be a 3-hour build by the time I hit hour 4. Like I knew that this wasn't going to fit the bill, right? But in total, I ended up recording, quote unquote, actually recording 5.6 hours of the build. But that's not all the time I spent on the build. I didn't record any of the planning phase at all. And I plan throughout, right? I do this thing, and I don't know if other people do this, but I'm assuming I'm not the only person in the world that does this, but I do this thing where at certain points in the build, I will stop building and I'll stare at what I have, and I'll twist it and I'll turn it and I'll look at it some more and then turn it again and look at it more and turn it again and so on and so forth. Keep doing that. I keep doing this turning and looking thing like mad, and I'm doing a few different things. I'm looking and evaluating what I have. Do I want to change anything, add anything, remove anything? Am I satisfied with what I have? All of that. And then I'm also thinking about what I'm going to do next. Like say I have the shell and I don't have the floor plan yet. I'm kind of thinking of different ideas for the floor plan, or just, the house in general. So I do all this turning and looking stuff, and I definitely don't record that ever or I try to remember to turn off the video recorder when I'm doing that, because let's face it, these videos are fast. Like, you're speeding up. For me, I speed it up 800%. I know some people will do 600. I think 600 is the most common. I do mine 800% because otherwise I'd be here all day. Like, the videos would be way, way too long because I'm a slow builder. I think I'm a slow builder. And so, yeah, so I didn't record any of that turning and looking part because it would spin like mad. Like, I'd be making all you guys nauseous, so I didn't record any of that. And I want to say that in total, and I also didn't record any of my detailing stuff at the end. And because I definitely spend extra time detailing in the end. And so I want to say that even though I recorded 5.6 hours, my in total time on this build was probably close to 8 hours. Somewhere around there, 8 to 10. It could have even been up to 10, because there's definitely all of that looking and planning stuff, So I don't know. I really wonder. I think I must be one of the slowest builders like on the planet or something, or maybe other people. I don't know. I don't know if other people are like that or not, but this was very, very just way too ambitious for what I was doing. I have 4 floors in this, 4 floors. The downstairs, it's like, it's meant to be like, it's sort of carved out of some hill or whatever. And there's a pool downstairs. Like I tried to lift the terrain. My disappointment, I love that we have terrain forming and I think it's awesome, but my disappointment is that it's limited to the build area. Like I want to be able to make a house on a hill and I want it to look natural in the environment. And to me, I can't really do that because I like to build to the edges of the space that we have pretty much all of the time. I don't know why I do that, but I do. Like if I have space, I build to it. But I would love to be able to blend the terrain in, like put a house up higher and blend the terrain in with the surrounding terrain. And right now we can't do that. I mean, it just like if you build anything high, it just drops off right where the line of your build is. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't blend into the environment very well. So slight drawback to me. And I don't know if that's something that they'll ever change or not. But for me, I really wish it blended a little bit more when we did the terrain forming into the environment. But, you know, hey, we work with what we have. And let's face it, we can do a lot with The Sims. So we can't complain too much. But let's see, what else can I tell you about this thing? So it's meant to be in a hot weather climate, obviously. You could throw it in, I built it in Oasis Springs. I think you could throw it in Salvadorada just as easily. The first floor pool, the outside pavilion, all of the deck spaces, it has several deck spaces, all of it is covered, partially because I have lived in the desert. And if you live in the desert, as wonderful as, like, doesn't even matter how much you love the sun, you don't want to be in it for more than a few minutes because it is hot in the desert. Very, very hot. So you want everything covered. You want to be in the shade all the time, pretty much. So that's why I did that, because I built this in Oasis Springs. And so everything is covered, including the pool, because otherwise it would evaporate like mad. Even the fountain up front, I was kind of like, desert climate, they're going to have to keep like filling that with water because it's just going to evaporate like crazy. But, you know, hey. Oh, and the other thing that I wanted to talk about kind of real briefly is inspiration. So, and maybe apologize a little bit too. I had 1 or 2 people ask me to do a different build. This other build that was hanging out on Twitter, was floating around on Twitter for a bit. And I had a couple of different people ask me, and I thought about it. I really did. I thought about it pretty hard. But my thing is, I don't know. I'm not good at building what other people have built. And it's not that I can't, like, it's not that I can't do recreations and all of this, but it's just not my thing. And I know other people do it. Like I see other people do it all the time. They do a great job. They have fun with it and all of that stuff. It's wonderful. But for me, I don't know, like a lot of my building stuff in The Sims it's a creative outlet for me. And so therefore I need to be creative. And for me personally, recreating something that someone else has already built it doesn't like feed into that creativity thing for me. I need to do my own thing. So now that's not to say I never use inspiration photos or inspiration builds or anything like that. I actually used one for this. I so wish I had it. I would love to show it to you. I don't know what happened to it. It was like open on my computer for like, I don't know, a day or a few hours or something. And I don't know, it got ate up by the internet somehow. I don't know. I had it open in Google, you know, but in any case, Google Images, it was under the images. But in any case, I don't know what happened to it and I can't find it again, which is like really too bad, because I wanted to show you guys my inspiration photo mainly so that you could see how not like it my build is. Which sounds so silly, right? But no, it's like if you looked at the inspiration photo and you looked at my build, you would have absolutely no idea that it was the inspiration photo. Really, at least I don't think so, because there's only one element in the inspiration photo that's in this build. But that's how I do things. Like that's how my inspiration stuff works. It doesn't work like with recreating. Like even if I use an inspiration photo, I'm not going to recreate whatever is in the inspiration photo. So the element that got me with this, the element that inspired me with this was in the inspiration photo, there was a water area out front that was basically a shallow rectangular kind of water area. And it had stairs going up to a landing that was all pebbles. And that is the only part of this build that resembles the inspiration photo at all. Is I have and even that I change because I add actual, like I add the little fish fountain-y things and make it like a real fountain where it's just this sort of water thing in the inspiration photo. And it doesn't have any of the vegetation and all of that stuff that I add in on mine. So there's really literally only one tiny element of the inspiration photo in my actual build. And that's how I use inspiration photos. I don't do recreations. I don't know, or is that the right word? I don't think I've ever done, I don't think I've ever recreated something except maybe my own house. I did my own house once and it's really boring. My house is boring. It doesn't even look good in game. So I did that just because I kind of wanted to do my own house. And I did do my hotel room in Cabo. I tried to recreate that a little bit. And I think that's all I've ever done. I don't think I've ever pulled a photo offline and tried to recreate something that I saw. I use photos online for a singular element that catches my eye and it'll be something that I want to incorporate. And I mean, that's even if I don't have inspiration photos, that for me is also how inspiration works. Like oftentimes, maybe most of the time, it's usually a roofing thing with me. Like I have an idea on something with a roof, or I want to try something in the game with roofing to see if the game allows me to do whatever zany thing I have in my head that I want to try. And that'll be how it begins, something like that. So I've had people ask me the inspiration question before, and that's how it works for me. It's kind of like one little element will be an inspiration and everything will just sort of stem and grow from there with virtually no plan to start. I had pretty much no plan when I started this house at all. It is a little bit to me, it's a simple build. It's sort of boxy. It's not, from an architectural standpoint, it's not really hard. I mean, it's got some bump outs and some different things like that, but it's not very difficult from an architectural standpoint. But part of the reason is I was originally trying to do this in 3 hours. And believe it or not, I did get the whole shell of the build, except for I didn't have the entire top floor done, but I had all 3 of the floors. The whole pool area was done. The second floor and third floor, which is the main living area and the upstairs bedrooms, they were all like mapped out. I had the main elements in them and everything. So, or the main floor plan done and all of that. And I think I actually got the main furnishing elements in before the 3 hours was up as well. So I managed quite a bit in the 3 hours, but it's all that final detailing and all the little things and things you have to fill in. And, like I'll do lighting last. Oftentimes, a lot of times I will do the decor elements at the end too. And that'll take a long time. And I didn't do a ton of clutter on this house. My thought with this house is this is kind of an estate. It's a small estate. It's only a 20 by 30 lot, but it is an estate. So my thought is that they have a maid, so it wouldn't be so super cluttered and all of that. So these are kind of rich people. So it's not going to be super cluttered and everything. So that was my thought with that. And also, since I've talked towards the end here, I better talk about real briefly. If you do want to download it, I'll throw it up online. I'm calling it Feeling Hot because it's meant for a warm weather climate. And it has CC, but the CC that's in it is mostly floors and unnecessary decor items. Like it's not, the house might look a little bit bare. In other words, if you download it and you don't have the CC elements, like for instance, the little fishies on the wall in the pool area are CC, things like that. So there are decor elements around that you won't get if you download it, and flooring. I think that most of the flooring is CC. So it has some CC, but it's not a ton. I know CC is sometimes a deterrent, but it's not a ton of CC. So that's something to know if you want to to download it. And I should also let you know too, before I forget as well, that the home, I designed the home in mind for a mom, dad, and 3 girls. One that's an older girl in college. She has the green sort of tropical looking bedroom, and mom and dad have the massive bedroom upstairs. Their master bedroom is white. It's sort of minimalist. Mom's an artist, and but it's a huge bedroom. And then the older college girl, and then 2 girls that are either twins or close in age. They have a shared bedroom. 2 girls or boys, actually. That room could go either way. So that was what I designed it for. And I am all the way at the end, so I have to shut my trap. And thank you so much for spending the time with me today. Please don't forget to comment, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the little bell for notifications. And thanks for hanging out. Hope to see you all next time. Bye now.